Hello, I'm Derek Monroe. Come along with me as I interview some of the industry's top beauty insiders, along with a few celebs, on this episode of Behind the Scenes Beauty. Thank you for watching another episode of Behind the Scenes Beauty. I am so excited because I have with me, she is a Black EGOT winner,
Yes.
but you were the first. Not only
EGOT
that,
winner,
but you're
right.
an author of 15 books.
Yes, I am.
You are a philanthropist.
Yeah.
No, hugely. You work closely
I give a little, yeah.
with AIDS causes and
Yeah,
all of
yeah,
those different
yeah,
things.
yeah.
You are a producer in
Yes.
television and in film. So
And
people have tried to
had a
discredit.
child.
Yes, people have tried to discredit your record.
Yeah, but you know what? Here's the thing. It doesn't matter what people say.
Sure
I
does.
know what I did is it's there. You can't discredit it. You can't erase it. It is what it is. So
Sure.
I let people just have all of their little mini freakouts, because why on earth would you spend that much time caring whether I did something? Okay, so
thank
that's
you
the
so
end
much
of the
for-
interview.
that's-
Thank you for having
No,
me.
no,
It's a
no.
pleasure.
We have just
have
begun.
more?
We have
Okay.
more.
All right.
We have more because I really want to talk. Like in Behind the Scenes Beauty, we talk about beauty and culture, but I also think it's very important to talk about your journey just a bit. Your career is so vast, there's no way we could go through it all. But I always wonder, for people successful like you and people that have had such a massive career. I mean, you've got all the awards named. You have a star on the Walk of Fame. Now you just got a soundstage named after you on Tyler Perry Studios. What I always wonder is, when you're a child growing up in New York, do you innately feel that life is going to be bigger than what you see? Like, is there something whispering to you that it's more, it's more?
I was raised that way. My mother told me that.
Okay.
She said, this is not, the confines of this neighborhood don't represent the confines of your life. You can do and go and be whatever you want to be. Whatever you do, be yourself.
Okay, because I think that's why people gravitate towards you, because you are so much the march to the beat of your own drum.
Yes.
And this is just a personal story. We were doing DragCon with RuPaul.
RuPaul.
Yes. And as we were walking through, there was a young little girl, I don't know if you remember this, and her mother, and the little mother noticed you, and then she starts bringing the little girl. The little girl has dreads.
Right.
And she's looking up at you, and truly she doesn't know Sister Act and
Yeah.
all the depth of your career, but she looked at you in such adoration. And it stuck with me because I'm sitting here and she was noticing the crowd of people that are surrounding you and like, oh my God, Whoopi, Whoopi, Whoopi. And I thought it was so beautiful because I felt like she saw herself in you.
Yeah.
And not the status quo of what the industry or the beauty industry tries to tell us what is beautiful, but she saw you and she recognized herself, and that has always touched me. That stuck with me. It will always stick with me. So earlier in your career, you've always been a person wearing your natural hair.
Yeah.
You were the person when it was like, now it's all trendy. Everybody's wearing the little twist outs in
Right,
their hair.
right.
You're in the 80s doing this. Did you receive backlash?
No, nobody was, people, I don't know what it was about me, but people didn't bother me about my hair. It wasn't until I got to Hollywood that people said, well, what are we going to do with that? And I was like, that what?
Yeah.
They was like, your hair. I was like, I don't know what you're going to do. I don't know what you're going to, I don't know. I don't know what you mean. I'm going to wear it on my head. But, for years, I think it was Rosalind, what was her name? Rosalind Cash, I want to say. All the movies that Rosalind Cash did, she always wore wigs because and her dreads were down to her backside, but she always had wigs on because people didn't know how to deal with her hair. So when I came along, I was like, I can put on a wig, but it seems odd.
Right.
Unless you're doing a period piece, there's no reason for me to be in a wig.
Right.
And so Julia Walker, who started out doing my hair in 85, I think, 85, 86, had to really create that niche where I could be in the movie with my hair.
Right.
and they had to deal with it.
Right,
It
right.
wasn't what I had to deal with, and it's always been more comfortable for me because I hate combing it. I don't want to be bothered.
Right. So you weren't necessarily trying to make a statement.
Oh
at the
no,
time.
child! I do not want to comb my hair. It's really simple.
I once again, I just think it's one of those things you are so comfortable with yourself, and I think that's what makes people gravitate towards you. There's a hairstylist, Chucky Amos, that he's actually did a previous episode, and whenever I bring you up, he loves that about you, the fact that you are authentically you, and I think it's what's been your brand. Do you agree? Do you feel?
I never put it. I don't give it any thought. Because it's not. That would be quite calculated.
Right.
If it was something that constantly was in my head, but I just know where my level of comfort is.
Well, you said it was calculated, but now when you look at people, it's a whole thing. Like, what are we going to portray to other people about you?
Well, I don't care, as you know. I don't.
Let me tell you, if I don't know that else, I know you do not care.
I don't. The only people I'm concerned with are the people who know and love me. Mm-hmm. If they are concerned about something about me, they will just say, I'm really worried about this, or have you thought about this because this is what I'm seeing. But other people who don't know me from a potato in a basket, who decided because they see me on some TV show or they see me in a movie or they see me on television doing something that they know and reserve the right to speak on me and my life, I'm not paying you to do that.
Right.
I'm getting paid to do what I do.
Right.
And I try not to get personal with people. So I appreciate that people take time. I just don't understand why. You have a life.
Right.
Enhance your life. Be the best you, and stop worrying about what other people are doing, because you have no idea what life they're living.
True.
So I just, it's too time consuming for me. I'm very self-absorbed and really just want to take time to myself about myself.
But that's really what we all should be doing, which is also called minding our business.
Well, yes. Yeah.
I think that's what we all should be doing.
Well, yeah.
Okay, so you've always been, so with your hair, that's one thing, but also in your clothing, your fashion, you've always sort of been like what's comfortable for you, not what everyone think you should wear. So you recently came out with Dubgee last year.
Yes.
And so what was your inspiration behind that?
I couldn't find clothes I wanted. You know what the inspiration was.
I know,
you were
but
there.
I
You
know,
were there. We
but
went to
and
Greece.
they don't know. So
we went
that's
to
why we
Greece.
gotta do
I
it
couldn't
that way.
find. And every time I go in the store to buy, because you want to be fly on the beach, walk with your head, let your hair just blow in the wind and stuff, and you want to wear your clothes. And every time I go in and buy something, I'd say, "Is this gonna fit me?" And they go, "Mm-hmm." And then I'd get it, get it to the hotel. It would fit my pinky.
Yeah.
It's like, God. And so I started feeling bad about myself. I thought, well, God, how much did I eat? How big have I gotten that I can't find nothing to wear?
Right.
And so when I came back, I thought I would do a line of clothing on the ship lines, because I would think about the women getting off the tour ships, who would come thinking they were going to find something to look all fly and not be able to find anything. And then it sort of is taken off, and people like it. It's really quite the things I would like to wear, and the comfort level that I'm happy with. It's not tight clothes. Let me see your religion.
Oh, funny terrible.
You like this?
Oh, baby, wow, you can tell what religion you are. That's wonderful.
Thank you, Robin.
I always say everybody can't do it, but Whoopi Goldberg can do it.
Well, I think everyone should get into their zone of what is good for them. Because if you feel good, you look good.
Right.
But if you're worried that somebody's looking at you going, oh, I don't know if you should have, you're not going to feel good.
Right.
So I feel like if you're not 20 anymore, that's okay. You can be 40 and still be extraordinary. You can be 60 and be right on the money. There is no reason you can't look good for your frame.
Yeah.
And we're not trying to make you hot, sexy. We're trying to make you comfortable.
And cute.
And cute.
With a little trendy saying on there.
Well, maybe.
I like
maybe
it.
there's some, maybe.
There's some good sayings
But we
on
just, I don't want you to be afraid of your closet or disappointed when you open your closet. Because, people go, oh man, I put on a little, these are so tight now, and it's like sometimes it happens. Water weight, you getting your period, all kind of stuff happens.
All of that stuff.
I feel Dubgee takes all that into account.
I think people always look at people's careers and they always think that it just happened overnight and that there isn't a price to pay. What would be one of the prices that you've paid for your career?
I've not paid any price for my career.
Really?
Yeah.
What makes you say that? Like, do you feel like
no one
you
has
lost
taken
out in
anything?
time?
No, nobody's taken anything from me. Nobody's stopped me from doing stuff until I got to the job I have now. Suddenly, politics seems to have created a little bit of a hiccup for folks.
Gotcha.
But until that point, no. If you ask me a question, I'm going to give you an answer.
Gotcha.
If I know that you're not doing something right and it pertains to me, I'm going to mention it.
Right.
And I'm okay if you don't give me the job.
Gotcha.
Because something else will come up or I'll go do a show. But, there's a lot of things I would like to be doing, but right now, we're in a place where people are thin-skinned and have no sense of humor.
Right.
So I find politics is the only, and it's funny because everybody says, well, you have freedom of speech. Well, I know that. I exercise it all the time.
But until you say so, then they want to take away yours.
They don't want you to talk.
Right.
They're like, how dare you say it? It's like, I'm sorry. They paid me to do that.
Right.
So that's the only price that I can think of. Nothing else. I've done and continue to do the things I want to do and that I can do without causing issues for other people, because you don't want somebody to hire you and then you say something and then they say, well, these people just hired you. We want them, we are going to picket them and do stuff to them until they fire you. You don't really want to put that in anybody else's lap.
Gotcha.
But, it is what it is.
Okay. And I'm down to 2 questions. My last one is my signature question.
Oh, his signature.
I have a signature.
Hold on, he has the signature question.
I have a signature question.
Hold on.
Let me tell you.
Is this it? Or you waiting to the last one?
Okay. This one isn't really a question. This is just an observation, though. Like, as I was studying, and then I overheard you recently, you were doing another show and you were telling them, and I overheard it, and I was so struck by it that I did not realize that you were 38 when you did The Color Purple.
Was that 38? I don't know. I can't remember. Let me think. I was 30. No, it couldn't have been 38. Couldn't have been. Can you look it up?
I Googled it and that's what came up.
What?
Because I was trying to fact check behind it.
Okay. Was I 38?
That's what it said.
Okay.
But
I might
don't
have
know.
been.
But still. But you know what? We
What?
got Lori on here and she's the Google queen, so she's definitely going to come back and let me know.
Hey, Google Queen. How old was Whoopi Goldberg when she did The Color Purple? When I made the movie, not when it came out.
Gotcha.
Okay.
But what's profound about that is, first of all, you looked 19 as Celie. That's why it stuns me, because I'm like, there was no way. I was like
30. I think I was 30. It might have
it
been 30.
don't even matter if.
Huh?
I was shot in 85.
So you're 30.
So I was
30. Official
30.
Well, let's get it clear.
Yes. Okay.
So
not
anything-
38.
right.
You know how old I'm, please.
So Google will set you up.
Yes. You know.
It's trying to take me out. But anyway, it don't matter. Even the fact that you was in your 30s, I still
Right.
think that that's so crazy that you look so young
Yeah.
when you were doing that movie. That's crazy.
Well, I was a baby.
And did you realize that you were working on something life-changing? Like, did you realize it was going to be what it was going to be?
You have to remember I came from getting discovered by Mike Nichols, who then took me to Broadway. So life-changing had already begun. Life-changing, my head was exploding.
Okay.
But what I did recognize is that something I always wanted to do was in my grasp, and that was to make a film. And having been asked to do it by Steven Spielberg, was even better because he was somebody whose work I really loved. Really, because when I was younger, he made a movie about a guy whose car was being pursued by a truck. And it is such a great movie because it's Dennis Weaver behind the wheel. And this thing, I can't think of the name of it. I think it's one of Steven's first films, and I can't think of the name of it, but it always knocked me out because it's scary, dual, but it's not like, ooh, there's, a monster in the desert. It's like you don't know who's in this truck, and he's, and the truck catches an attitude with him, and you should get, if you've not seen it, it's fantastic. So and then all the other movies that he made, but that one knocked me out. That and an episode of, not Twilight Zone, Night Gallery that he did. I think it's the very first Night Gallery that he did with Joan Crawford, where she plays a woman, a very, very wealthy, nasty, mean, nasty woman who's blind.
My abiding concern, Doctor, and my singular preoccupation is myself. 11 hours or 12, fewer or more, it makes no difference. I want to see something. Trees, concrete, buildings, grass, airplanes, color!
It was such a great piece that I thought one day, I'm going to work with him. And of course, that's the first person I worked with. And so to be brought in by Mike Nichols and Steven Spielberg into this world of entertainment, Steven Spielberg, man, this cat, I'm telling you, this man nurtured me to pull something out that I didn't think I could take care of.
And to get your first, because this is your first movie.
Yeah.
And to be nominated for an Academy Award.
Yeah.
How crazy is that?
Well, it was something I wanted because my mom and I and my brother, we all watched the Academy Awards every year. We making speeches and everybody would roll their eyes. Just, here she goes with another speech.
So in a way, you were sort of like putting it out there.
I prepped this. I prepped this. What I didn't prep for was the understanding of how much responsibility I had to take.
Right.
I just thought it would, you just sort of went along with it. But you have to actually be responsible. And I wasn't prepped for...
What do you mean when you say responsible?
Well, you have to, you are responsible to people when you come outside your house,
Many people don't know that nowadays,
Yes,
though.
I know.
Can I tell you, that's one of the things I walk away with you from. And whenever I'm having conversations with other people and when they talk about other celebrities, I always talk about how you have an understanding of the responsibility to just at least be kind.
Yes.
That people don't even
Yes.
realize. Like, there are times if people want to take a picture with you and you don't have the time,
Yeah.
you at least I can't take the picture, but I'll shake your hand.
Yeah.
Because you realize the importance of that interaction with other people.
Yeah.
It's like a few people, I feel like Will Smith was like that when I met him. There are these people that are old school Hollywood that realize, like, you know what? These people, although I'm getting it on my end every day, I realize this means something to you, and I want it to be an experience that you walk away with.
Yes. And I didn't realize that. Yeah. But there are certain things that...
How long did it take you to get it?
Well, my mom said it to me. She said, it's not easy for people to come up and ask for, or come up and say something. They want to say something, so give them the opportunity. It's like, okay. I listen, between Paul Simon and my mother and Mike Nichols and Cecily Tyson and Quincy Jones, they gave me good roadmaps to follow on how to be outside of my house as Whoopi Goldberg. When I go home, it doesn't matter what I do.
Right.
I, call people, do all kind of stuff. But once you come out of the house, you have a responsibility. You don't have to take the picture.
Right.
You do owe somebody a responsibility when you're saying hello. Right. It's a lot of stuff to to learn, you know. And then there's all the filaments that are there. Like you sort of look and you say, well, I think it should be like this. And people go, you have an opinion? It's like, yeah,
Right.
I do.
Being around you, I've loved to hear the story you tell about your mom, because your mom is not like a regular mom. Your mom is like a thought out. It seemed like she strategized how to raise you and your brother.
She wasn't that deep. I think the fact that my mom probably was a lot like me, so she was imparting little bits of information that I think she may have already
know.
I hear you coming out of my
Yes.
mouth a lot.
That is known as the mother's revenge.
Then it wasn't catching
Yeah.
her by surprise.
No,
like,
what-
girl, I
yeah,
already know.
Yeah.
Then if
I
you're going to
knew
do
what-
it, let
that's
me tell you how to do it.
Yeah, because if you're going to, you know, if you get into a situation where you lie to somebody and it's not at least interesting, you know.
It's going to be over
It's
for
going
you.
to be over right quick. So I think she was somebody who thought about things, because I think her method of parenting was really like, tell me why you think this.
Yeah.
What is your reasoning?
Yeah, she made you think.
Yeah.
She made you
But
think.
I think, I don't know. Yeah, she did.
No, like literally, I've heard you tell stories, and I'm always like, she was one of those people that made you think about it to
Yeah.
make you come to the conclusion, not something that she just told you.
Yeah, no. She
But-
was good for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's amazing.
Yeah.
So my last question.
Hold on. Derek's last question.
Hey.
It's Derek's last question. Derek's last question.
Hey! Oh, see, we might use that.
I think you should.
That's gonna be in every interview.
That's Derek's last question.
Derek's last
That's right.
question. I always ask everybody this because everybody's viewpoint may be different. What is beautiful to you?
I don't know.
What do you find beauty in?
It's a case-by-case thing. It really is.
Right.
It really is, because, you know, beauty is something that comes to you. It just kind of hits you. I could tell you, know, there are sunsets that are beautiful. There are, you know, people that are beautiful. But, are they beautiful all the time? I don't know.
Right.
You know, so if we were walking down the street and I saw something, I would say to you, "Now, I like that. I think that's beautiful."
Right.
So I think it is truly, in my opinion, in the eye of the beholder. And I behold so much
That you do.
that I have so many answers that I couldn't possibly just give you one.
Well,
You're beautiful
moi. I'll take
Yeah.
it. Okay, we'll take
in
it.
your lavender.
Oh, you know, I
Yes,
try. It's a little fuzzy. I'm a
Well,
little
me
kid.
too. You know, I'm hair falling out, breaking off.
Listen, it is
know,
what it is. We're gonna
that's
get it
it.
together, though.
Well, you know, I can't always look like a low rent Beyonce now, can I?
You look like a high rent Beyonce.
Maybe. Love you, B.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank
Whoopi.
you.
I love you so
Love
much.
you too, baby.
All right, you guys. If you don't already follow me on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Derek Monroe. Thanks so much.
If I'd known then what I know now,
Oh, but how could you?
I probably would have tried to be a much better kid to match the great mom that you are. If
You
I'd
were
known.
a good kid, and you did match the mom that I was trying to be.